Let's continue here on Boxtorow with the radio boss. We're joined by a young woman. You can see her right there, and you're going to know her from so many things. Let's go back to one-on-one. Let's go back to Dr. Doolittle, Penny Proud on Proud Family. Of course, she's starring in the new film, Let's Meet Again on Christmas Eve, Saturday, 8 p.m., 7 Central on Lifetime. The one and only Kayla Pratt joins us here on Boxtorow with the radio boss. How are you, Kayla?
I am doing well. How are you?
Doing great. And we appreciate the time. I had a chance to see the film, Let's Meet Again on Christmas Eve, my family and I, as a matter of fact, and we enjoyed it really immensely. How did it all come up? Like, did you all film this prior to COVID?
No, we actually shot it during COVID. It was one of the first projects. We shot it in Canada, and it was one of the first projects to be shot after the whole pandemic. And I remember going through customs and the officer being like, "No, you can't be here for a movie that's shut down." And I'm like, "No, sir. Like, I promise you, I'm not coming to do no craziness. Like, I'm here. Here's all my paperwork." But it was an adventure. We had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and then it was another 3 weeks of shooting. So it was the longest that I've ever had to be away from my family. So it was a little, but it was worth it because now we have a beautiful Christmas film that can bring joy to all those who watch it.
No question about it. And you and I were talking before we came on, because I think one of the things that Lifetime is doing a better job of is having more diversity. And it was great to see. And there was diversity throughout the course of the film, but the two main stars were Black, and I think that is super important. Can you sort of speak to that and what we're sort of seeing, especially in light of what we've seen here over the last 5 or 6 months or so?
I think it's amazing. I think I had a conversation with someone earlier who was saying, like, they were so happy that Lifetime broadened their views of things. And because I did my first Lifetime movie, this is my third one. So my first one was 3 years ago. And that was the first time that I had ever really seen a Black cast in something for Lifetime. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And it's great because, we need to be seen in every aspect of storytelling, like there's not just one story about love. And I really love that the network, I saw different races that I've never seen have their own movie coming on. We have a young woman, an actress who's, playing someone in a wheelchair. We have different communities that are getting recognition from these type of stories. And it's great because it's lovely to be someone and to see yourself on screen and feel like something you can relate to. So I think it's amazing that, that has happened now,
Yeah, no, it's great. And I can admit this, like, I may be one of the only guys that actually watches Lifetime. Lifetime has some excellent movies, and I've been watching Lifetime for quite some time. It was great to see, matter of fact, Kelly Rowland last week, an all Black cast last week. So to your point, I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let them know. Men can watch it too. It's okay.
Oh, it's okay. It is all good, So Let's Meet Again on Christmas Eve. Let's talk about that. You play the role of Corinne in that film. Who is Corinne, first and foremost?
Well, she is a young woman who is just very excited about life. She's very business orientated, and she basically is a young woman who dated a young man in college, and they fell in love and they separated. They were supposed to meet together at a certain time during Christmas, and each of them feels like each other stood the other one up. So it's crazy because these type of stories, I hear about them from other people that like they have relationships when they're younger, and you leave without that closure, and so you sit back and wonder what if. So what if things would have been different, or what if we would have been older or more mature or had things in order. And that's basically what Corinne and her love interest does in this film, and they're forced to work together, and at first they're like, wait, I don't like you, but I feel something, but I don't like you.
Right.
You do X, Y, and Z, but I feel something. So it's just them basically fighting with themselves, trying to figure out what they want out of this relationship, if anything, so I just think it's a really cute story that people enjoy.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. The film, I mean, not only was it touching, it had a great ending. It was funny. Like, you guys were really funny in this film also.
Yeah, you got to bring a little comedy in there. It's a little, it's kind of dramatic, so you got to lighten it up a little bit. You can't just have the Christmas joy do that, you know.
So, is there a possibility that we could see a #2 of this?
Oh, there's always a possibility. You never say never. Never say never. Without giving it away, I'm pretty sure with our ending, there is a possibility.
Yeah, no question. And we won't give it away. We'll invite people to watch Saturday, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central on Lifetime. The one and only Kayla Pratt joins us here on Boxtorow with the Radio Boss. So you've done a couple, like you mentioned, this is your third Christmas movie, I think you said. So
Yeah.
are you enjoying doing these, and more recently, I might add, are you enjoying doing these Christmas movies?
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying them. I don't do anything. I don't enjoy it. But one of my favorite things about it is my grandmother loves them, and every year she's like, "That's my favorite." Each time I do a new one, "That's my favorite," and she's like, "My DVR erased my movie. Can you give me a copy?" And I'm like, "Grandma, I got you." Like to put a smile on her face is just amazing. So I don't think I could ever stop if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, no question. I mean, like I said, we've seen you a little bit more recently. So can I take you back to one-on-one? Like, can we go back to your time on the program One-on-One and what that time was sort of like? Was that like your first leading role in a TV series? Am I right about that?
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay.
it was my first real series regular
Right.
role. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like? What do you remember most about those times?
That it was amazing. We shot the pilot when I was 12 and we did not get picked up. And in the following year we got picked up. So I was 14 when the series started. So if you watch the show back, you can see in the first episode, I look very, very young. And then 14, I'm like, I got a little body now and I'm walking around. So it's a big difference. But, that was just, I think of One-on-One, I think about my childhood. I think about driving to set every day and having to be responsible and getting to read these scripts and not really knowing the impact that it was having on people around me. I was just like, oh, I get to work. Okay, after work, I'm going with my friends. Bye. Oh, it came on. That's nice. Like, I wasn't really, thinking about it like that. And then I was also working on the Proud Family at the same time. So for me, I just love, I've always loved what I do. And that was just what I did. I wasn't, I don't get involved in anything saying, oh, so many people are going to watch this. It's going to be amazing. I just love the work. And if it can affect a small group of people that it needs to affect, then that was the point,
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. So what's the most interesting thing someone has said to you about how maybe an episode, because it was a pretty you were really sassy, on
Yeah.
that show and so forth. Like what is something that somebody has said to you that, sort of affected them?
I got a bunch of different people say so many different things. The first thing that comes to mind would be the Proud Family and all the different things that we talked about. We talked about segregation, we talked about Kwanzaa, we talked about so many different things that, weren't being taught to us necessarily in schools completely. And also on One-on-One, that family, daughter, daddy dynamic, there were so many times that you see a Black father not being depicted in a positive light. So to see a man who by choice took over and, took his daughter in completely on his own, and the relationship that they had, I know a lot of people have come up to me and said really positive things about how that made them feel about their dad and, how they related to that because they were raised with their dad. And, so I think everything that those two shows are like amazing things to be a part of. And I'm just glad that I was along for the ride.
Absolutely. And then in the midst of doing both of those, you managed to find time to shoot a major motion picture in Fat Albert. Like, how were you able to do all of that?
I was, you young. You like, let me have fun. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, and Fat Albert, I had so much fun. That was the first movie that I ever was on set, and I didn't have to do school. I ended up getting my GED so I wouldn't have to do regular work hours, but then at the same time, I wouldn't have to do kid hours on set. And then, but I still graduated and got my diploma, so I was still actually doing school at the same time. So I was just, balancing it all. I was like, it was fun for me. I wasn't forced to do it. You know what I mean? So of course you make time for things that you love.
Yeah. And Fat Albert was so cool. Like, I'm sure you get still a lot of response to this day about Fat Albert, which was actually 16 years ago now.
Crazy. I don't like, I sit back and everybody's like, everybody's like, oh, you look so young.
Yes.
How old are you? And I'm like, well, and then I'm like, I don't even remember how old I am until I talk to somebody like, oh yeah, we shot that 20 years ago. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. And then the Dr. Dolittle franchises.
Yeah. Fun. That was amazing just to be a part of that, especially as a kid watching Eddie Murphy and just knowing him and his genius and seeing his genius in person and experiencing his great energy as a person. I've worked with some very great people that led by example, so they didn't really have to say much. I just saw and was like, oh, that's how you do it.
Right. The one and only, of course, Kayla Pratt joins us here on the program. Let's meet again on Christmas Eve, Saturday, 8 p.m., 7 Central on Lifetime. A couple of more thoughts. What have you learned about yourself sort of growing up, beginning as a child actor, if you will, to now this point? I also want to talk about, I know you have a new series coming out, I guess, Call Me Kat. Mm-hmm. We want to talk about what are you learning really still about yourself?
I'm learning about myself. Well, this year I learned a lot of patience.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have. I learned a lot of patience, and I don't know, I'm constantly learning every day. Like I love to, still take acting classes every once in a while. I love to watch people and the things that they do and decide, okay, I don't know if I want to do that. You learn from other people's mistakes. You learn from what other people do right. And I'm constantly learning. I think more about myself is kind of like, don't overthink it. Just let it flow. Like it's gonna flow, like just because I'm a thinker. Okay. Hold on, wait a minute. What is this? No. Shh, quiet your mind.
You be thinking.
I be thinking, okay? I'm over. It's nothing that I have not thought about.
As a Black woman, I want to get your thoughts. Kamala Harris, now, of course, the vice president elect. I know you've tweeted a little bit here and there in terms of politics, but I want to sort of get your thoughts on Kamala Harris.
I think that it is absolutely amazing that we have a woman and a woman of color that will be in the Oval Office. I think it's amazing that she's opening doors for so many other women and showing that, women can lead. And if not better. But no, I think it's absolutely amazing. I think it's gonna be great. I'm just happy to see that change is coming. And hopefully people have to understand that no matter what, we voted and everything happened, but we still have to stay involved. And there's so many things in this country that need to be adjusted and need to be worked on. And I know Kamala's, she knows. She like, look, X, Y, and Z. If she didn't know before, she knows now. So I think it's absolutely amazing that my little girls get to see a woman in such a high power position,
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing. So Call Me Kat. So that's your next project, right?
Yes, I'm actually working on Call Me Kat right now. It is a show for Fox that is going to be premiering January 3rd. It is our first premiere night, but our actual dates are going to be on Thursday night. So it's going to come on January 3rd and then January 7th. But it stars Mayim Bialik, Leslie Jordan, Cheyenne Jackson, Julian Gant, and Susie Kurtz, and myself.
Yep.
And it's a sitcom, and it's about a woman who basically blows all her life savings to open up a cat cafe, showing that, she doesn't have to be married, she doesn't have to have kids, she can, not have it all and still have it all. And, I play the little feisty barista that works in her cat cafe. And we're just having so much fun. I feel like there's so many different people from so many different backgrounds of this industry coming together. So I feel like we're making a show for everybody. I think you guys are going to love it.
Yeah. So what's next for you? It seemed like for maybe a little while we didn't see you as much, but now you got Call Me Cat. You have, of course, Let's Meet Again on Christmas Eve. What's sort of next for you?
I'm also working on the Proud Family reboot right now.
Nice.
Yeah, we announced it early last year, but COVID kind of put a little halt to everything because we couldn't go and record. We recorded a little bit from home, but sometimes the sound quality. So they're trying to get everything perfect for you guys. So that'll be coming out in 2021. And yeah, just working and trying to find the best projects out there. I enjoyed my time where I never stopped working.
Right.
I just, took things here and there because I am a mom now.
That's right.
And my kids are getting a little older. They don't want to be around me all the time. So it's okay for me to go back to work.
And still do your thing. So are you looking to be behind the camera a little bit more, maybe directing or producing?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I started a production company, so I'm getting into that side of things, but I'm also a perfectionist, so I like to learn. I've been wanting to do that for years now. I'm finally in a position where I can think. I can think clearly. And yeah, so I'm ready to do all that. I didn't really want to direct until maybe about a year ago, once I realized that I know a lot about it. I'm like, Kyle, you're always directing everything anyway. So yeah, I'm working on getting behind the scenes and taking notes from Miss Maya Bialik, who literally does it all, and just, soak it in everything that I see.
Yeah. So are you into sports at all?
I am into sports. I haven't been that into it the past couple of years. Like literally, my man will be watching a game and I'll be like, he's on that team now? But no, but I love sports.
Okay, so I mean, you're an LA lady, right? So, the Chargers and the Rams back, like the Lakers. Matter of fact, the Lakers and the Dodgers winning championships is a great thing,
right? It's a good time to be from LA.
Yeah. Did you happen to see the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight last?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I think because I'm a mom now, I sit back and be like, what? Why is he hitting him like that? Like, ooh, that I know that hurt. Like, so I'm not too into it, into the boxing thing anymore. But no, I didn't watch it. Okay. I saw bits and pieces. I was walking back and forth.
Okay, no, because I didn't know if you had heard about Snoop's. He was doing color commentary. Did you hear about that?
But Snoop's commentary, like that's how my man talk. That's how I talk. That's how, Snoop got a little extra on it that the world needs to see. But it's so funny because my friend has a show on Freeform, and it's not like how like that type of talking is. And me and my brother do the commentary for her show, and she's like, oh my goodness, somebody has to record this, so yeah, I didn't watch the fight, but of course I saw Snoop's. I had to pay attention to Snoop.
Yes, so Let's Meet Again on Christmas Eve, Saturday, 8 p.m. 7 Central on Lifetime. It stars the one and only Kayla Pratt, who joins us here on Boxtorow with the Radio Boss. Kayla, appreciate the time. Continued success in all you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.